The debate over Arizona's controversial illegal immigration law is spreading out across the U.S. Illegal immigration has been an issue New York Assemblyman Greg Ball has put front and center ever since he was elected to office back in 2006. And now he's putting together an expert panel to discuss the Arizona law, and he's here to tell us why. So why exactly are you tackling this debate that's all the way across the country?
Well, I mean, it's actually right here at home. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you look at the 19 hijackers, they had various forms of identification. And if we were properly enforcing our laws, 9/11 possibly wouldn't have happened. So at the end of the day, look, I mean, we, in this very same state, we had a governor who tried to give over 1 million illegal aliens driver's licenses. So it's a very serious issue. And while that border may be a federal issue, securing that border, the impacts are local and they're real.
Are you for or against the Arizona law?
You know, but I'll tell you what, as a New Yorker who has seen firsthand, and it's, you know, we can talk about the specifics of the Arizona law. When you actually look at it, what they're trying to do is use local law enforcement to enforce the law. It's similar to the 287G agreement, which has been used successfully across this entire country. What I don't like is to watch the local impacts, which include increasing crime, because illegal immigration, in and of itself, I mean, we live in a country where there are over 7 million people waiting in line to come here legally for an average of 7 years, right? They have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to come into this country. We're forcing them to wait in line. Meanwhile, we have 1 million illegal aliens without a criminal background check who are allowed to cross that border every year. And the impacts, whether it be Arizona, Brewster, Manhattan, the impacts of that failed immigration policy are real. So in New York State, I would like to see a 287G agreement, which would allow local law enforcement to coordinate deportation activities, because you may not know it, but criminal illegal aliens who have committed crimes in this state serve in prison at $40,000 a year, you know, a little less than what it costs to send them to Harvard, and then many times they're released back onto the street to commit those crimes again. So, you know, we've got to take this very seriously. It's not about being anti-immigration. We're a great state. Absolutely, New York State is a great state because we have a strong immigration policy. But we've got to enforce our law, and we've got to get serious about it.
In the New York political delegation, you're kind of an odd voice right now because as soon as Arizona passed that law, there was almost universal condemnation by New York politicians across the board, from the city council to the congressional delegation, you name it. They were condemning it, saying it was Nazi Germany now in Arizona. You're not condemning it. Why do you think the rest of the politicians in this state so immediately condemned this law?
Well, we definitely live in a left-leaning state. There's no doubt about it, and there's a demographic of politics that certain politicians want to play into. There are certain politicians in New York State who want to see New York City be a sanctuary city. They want to see New York State be a sanctuary state. You know, outside of Jerusalem, New York City is the largest terrorist target in the world. And when you look at the driver's license issue, it wasn't about 1 million illegal aliens trying to get to and fro work. It was the several terrorists that may be in their midst. And we have criminal illegal aliens, people who broke our law to get here, who are then committing violent crimes in New York State and elsewhere. That's just an issue of common sense. And meanwhile, we have 6 to 7 million legal immigrants, totally legal, who are forced to wait an average of 6 or 7 years. The policy itself is anti-American. It's unconscionable. You have Republicans who want cheap labor, and you have Democrats who see future votes. And the taxpayers are being left to flip the bill, and we have nearly 18 million illegal aliens living in indentured servitude. It's a policy that needs to be fixed. And then you have states like Arizona that say, you know, we have to take action because we have people being killed by criminally illegal aliens, and our emergency rooms are full. You know, the taxpayers are flipping the bill. Our schools are overburdened. We saw it in California where they've gone bankrupt. And you have some of those very same implications here. We've got to embrace legal immigration, but we also have to crack down on the illegal economy.
You embraced this issue in 2006 when you ran for the Assembly successfully.
Right.
Is this a personal issue for you?
Well, I love America, and I find it personally objectionable that we live in a country where we force 6 to 7 million people to wait in line and tell them, you know what, you wait in line, but we're going to allow 1 million people to cut in line in front of you, and then we're going to force those 1 million people into indentured servitude so business owners don't have to pay them a fair wage. And it's a black market, modern-day slave economy. So it absolutely is personal. In my district, not long ago, we had a drunk illegal alien who killed a mother and a daughter, mowed them down in the very middle of the day. I will live with that for the rest of my life as somebody who ran on the issue of illegal immigration and that illegal economy. And then in my very district, after I told my community to please take action, that atrocity happened. So it is something that I do take personal. But as our nation, we have to come together. And the answer isn't on the either extremes of this, but it's somewhere in the middle. And that begins with enforcing the laws that are on the books.
Assemblyman Ball, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
The networks of NBC Universal.